Hi, this is Kipper here, and today I thought I'd show you some smuggler footage, look at some of the mechanics, and also go over the cover system, which is probably the most revolutionary thing about any of the mechanics in this game in particular. I think probably it's one of the biggest innovations in MMO mechanics in quite a long time, or at least class mechanics. Yeah, I have a Scoundrel. He's a pretty cool character. If you look here, this is the rest animation. This is just amazing. That's so awesome. Every time I see that, I'm blown away by how cool a class this is. At level 10, you can get a choice to go with Scoundrel, which is the character I've gone at. Pointing at Riggs. Stop pointing the gun at Riggs. Look, he's going to blow his brains out. I mean, Riggs isn't that annoying. I don't think we should do that. Let's put him on a go over that. Yeah, so we have, oh god, I'm cracking up. I've been trying to do this for so long and I just can't stop laughing. I don't know what it is today. There's maybe somebody slipped some amphetamines in the water. That's what happened here. Yeah, the class revolves around energy. Energy, which, well, I guess you could say it's like mana, but it's not really mana. It regenerates, but the speed it regenerates at is interesting. The more energy you have, the faster you get energy. The more energy you use, the slower it is to regenerate, which is really quite interesting. So it would be one of those things that if you were to spam healing, for example, because the Scoundrel has a fully adept healing tree, you could quite happily spec up and be a decent healer in this class. Yeah, if you were to just spam heals, it's not going to do you no good if you run out of energy, because you're not going to have enough to continue in the future, because your energy regenerates slower than it would if you were just carefully placing heals on your targets, which is a really nice little thing. I only really found out about that today when I was doing a tiny bit of healing. I'm not really spec'd as a healer, but I was just healing some sort of heroics. So we have basic abilities, which are Blaster, that's my Bolts of Fury. And we have Quick Shot here, that's a very, very sort of close range one. And Thermal Grenade, which it's like a single target AoE, and it does sort of splash damage around it. Thermal Grenade, which is basically crowd control. You throw that and it stuns your target. They go blind. It's a really nice animation, actually. It's really, really cool. You have Colto Pack, which is... I'll kind of go into that in a second. It's a little more tricky. We have the Escape, Dirty Kick, which is the classic kick to the nuts, and Blaster Whip. Oh, this kick to the nuts, by the way, that's a proper good stun. That's a nice bit of stunning. And Blaster Whip, which is a good old-fashioned pistol whip round the back of the head. Basic Heal, which is Underworld Medicine. That's a direct heal. It's quite a big one. And you have your HOTS here. This is a diagnostic scan. Cool Head, which is an energy recovery skill, because, as I say, you can run out of energy. So this recovers 50 energy pretty damn quickly. And Vital Shot, which is it's a dot basically. Yeah, so you can dot up your target with that, and it will cause bleed damage. Back Blast, which is, I guess it would be the rogue equivalent of Backstab. It's hard to describe because this class is sort of so many different things, because you can play it in so many different ways. And Stealth, which is just so weird. So we're a healer, we have stealth, and we're a healer. It's really weird. It's odd, but it's good. It's good odd, and it's good odd. But the biggest thing is going to be cover. I'm going to explain these other abilities, where are we? This one, and a couple of others when we start taking cover, because it's about cover and some of the mechanics to do with that. So if we can find some mobs with some cover, that'll be a good way to show you how it works. Up until level 10, you really can't do anything. They teach you the mechanics of how to use cover pretty much constantly until that point. But after level 10, at least with the Scoundrel I've found, it becomes less of an issue. So there we are. So you see this, I've targeted a mob, and we get this green cover icon come up. This means that I can roll to that position. So when I roll there, I'll be in cover. Probably not that side, but there, definitely. So I can roll into cover, take some blaster shots at him.
Come on, Captain.
And this bar here changes. Kill him quickly. Give him a kick, shoot him. Sorry, they changed all my damn keyboards. I'm getting really quite annoyed by that. One of the bugs which this game has had is it wipes your keybinds, and I haven't really set them all up properly yet. Yeah, so you get into cover, and the cover bar comes up, which changes some of your abilities and skills. So for example, we have Charged Blast come up. Charged Blast is a channeled, direct fire, and it's kind of like your bread and butter against bigger mobs when you're in cover. You have Sabotage Charge, which is pretty cool. You throw it at the target and it detonates when you shoot at it. Obviously I've got Thermal Grenade. I put that on that bar because I kind of like just having them. And Colto Pack. With the Scoundrel, you get certain different abilities when you've performed Pistol Whip. I think this in itself is to do with making the class less static, and I think it's pretty much of a good thing. So if I can perform a Pistol Whip here, you see I get that buff icon in the top corner there, which is the upper hand. It lasts a limited amount of time, but it means I can use other skills, like that one. And that's Blaster Volley, which is a cone of fire. And get another one out of it. My Colto Pack, let's heal the rigs.
That's right. I got you.
And that's my direct heal. And it's quite a nice little mechanic, because it means that you're not as static as you were in the early game. And cover does have some issues, it does have some bugs. I think one of the things which is weird about it is you can pretty much take cover anywhere, which is strange, even if you're not in cover. I mean, obviously you don't get a lot of the benefits, but you can still use the skills. The Scoundrel class as a whole, it's got a lot of variety to it. It's very interesting to play. I mean, if we can sneak up on... I mean, he's not a hostile mob. But if we sneak up here and we can use Back Blast, Scatter Punch, give him a stun, and a Pistol Whip. Volley's probably not appropriate. Basic skill. Dead already. But yeah, there seem to be a lot of different ways that you can spec up to go, which I found after level 10. I was really lost. I mean, I was kind of thinking, well, what the hell? Like, it's all something and nothing, you know. I'm this class which can stealth and can punch people and can heal. Okay, which am I meant to do? And it took me quite a while to get into the mindset that, well, I can pretty much do any of them.
I'll poke around and see what's what.
I mean, the cover does have some downsides. Sometimes you'll find when you roll to cover, you won't be in cover. One of the things which I found really bugs me is there's a delay on it. I wish there wasn't that slight delay of using the skill. As you can see there, it goes onto a cooldown. That bugs me, because I'd like to be able to just be able to duck behind something, because automatically taking cover sometimes doesn't work, or you don't get the option to come up somewhere which is quite a blatant spot where you would have cover.
Taste a little blaster fire.
Some volley fire.
I've had enough.
And shoot him in the back. Yeah, I used to have that on there. Yeah, that's Vital Shot. That's my dot. Let's see. I didn't get to see the buff on there actually. Let's have a look, see if we can show you that debuff. But overall, I've actually really grown into the class. So is that something I could say? It's unusual. It's very different. The storyline is, I think, probably one of the best ones I've played so far. So we get the upper hand. What can we do with the upper hand? Well, that's a health regeneration skill. I'll show you that. Generates a certain amount of health and energy at the same time. Also, it manages to reset your cool head, and cool head is another energy skill. There's a lot of energy skills here, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't really run out of energy yet when I've been grinding mobs. There might have been times when I've played against, say, an elite, and I've run out of energy there. That's been quite handy then, but so far I haven't really found too much use for it. Again, the same with stealth. I think stealth could be quite a handy one, obviously, for PvP. It's going to be vital because you can perform that act as a rogue. I mean, you're never going to be anywhere near as powerful as being able to one-shot people, but there have been a few complaints about how the Imperial Agent is OP, and I guess to the same extent the Smuggler, and I think that's people not being used to just how the game works, yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, you're never going to be like able to one-shot people. It's not like that. You know, it's not like Warcraft. Generally, when you're having PvP combat, it takes a hell of a lot more to take down a player one-on-one than you're used to, and that in itself, I think, is a pretty good thing. Simply for the fact that, you know, it's no longer easy mode. You know, you're not going to see massive hits. That's a perfect hit. Give a blast of it. See, I can throw a little bomb on him. There we go. Yeah, you're not going to see the massive numbers and the instant damage. It's going to take a lot more teamwork. You know, which is good. I'm into team games. I kind of like those. Got another hard mob here. Let's see if we can do some stuff with cover. Let's put some charged burst into him. There you go. You see the green icon comes up when you're on cover. Shoot him in the back. There you go. Another pistol whip. Oh, Riggs is dead. Oh dear. Dear Riggs. I should really look after my companions more. I never really do. I don't care for them much. They're just tools in my book of tricks. Come on, get up. I think we might have a lag spike, baby. Yeah, this is something I've been seeing a bit of lately. Not too often, but today is obviously... Yeah, there we are. Yeah, a bit of a lag spike. Yeah, today is the day when we have more of those weekend testers coming in, which is good because we can get rid of all these bugs. Ah, there we go. That's the flashbang. That's one of the CCs. Pretty cool. Really cool. It lasts for ages too. I mean, you get a lot of utility out of this, I think. Let's heal ourselves with that. Let Riggs do all the work. He's going to die. So. Shoot you in the back. No, maybe not. Yeah, I think as you level up with this particular advanced class, it'll become a lot more sort of cool. I mean, there are going to be trouble. I think the trouble comes when you're looking at using the cover mechanics so much in PvP, because PvP is anything but static. You know, it's one of those things where you're going to be wanting to move around, you're going to be needing to get position on people, and the mechanic in its current form, it kind of doesn't really work like that. I see it as an optional extra, if I'm honest with you. I don't see it as something that is one of the true mechanics of the class, at least not the way I'm speccing this. Right. Damn, I wish I had that on F. I should change that. Bang, there you go, and that's my scattergun. The scattergun is, yeah, you get a scattergun, but it sort of acts like an offhand. It's not really a weapon that you use. You use it for, say, a few skills. I haven't got to the other ones yet, so I can't comment on them. But yeah, it's more like an offhand thing for special attacks. It's not like an item that you see in world or in game. And charge blast. Give it a kick. Yeah, I've got to admit, I love pistol whipping stuff. Boom. I should put that on something. Right, let's do that. Gah! Die, you beast. Beastie. Timorous beastie. I don't need energy. See, my energy hardly gone down all throughout this. I mean, even if I was in cover, spamming away with that skill, I'd nowhere be near exhausted. There's a plant. I'll get that for bioanalysis. I think. Yep, we got that. And I think I'll end that there. I think I've said quite enough before I'll bore you all to tears. Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for subscribing. I'm not going to say leave a like if you need a like. If you like it, you will. If you don't, you won't, and that's fantastic. I did put up, I think it was a Starship video earlier. If you haven't seen that, take a peek. I have a bit of a rant, which is not that uncommon for me, I suppose. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Kepper signing off.